But first, we all know people like this in our lives who get the ball rolling when other people just want to talk about planning. Well, Evie Kalmar grew up in Racine, and you can tell she loves the camera and the camera loves her. A simplified way of talking about how people know her is that she is a, quote, alternative model. She has the tattoos and piercings, but for the people who work with her, she's certainly more than that. So to talk a little bit about who she is, Evie joins us now in studio. Also with her, Michael Kepner, photographer with Milwaukee Portraits. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. So Evie, let's start by just having you describe to me what you do.
Oh man, that's a loaded question. So I've been modeling for 12 years. I've been doing these events probably for 4, but they've really gained a lot of momentum over the last year. I think we've done 12 in 1 year.
Yes.
And we've taken artists from all over the Midwest and even further than that and just brought them together so they're in one place at one time. And it's really just been a collaborative group effort. Just bringing multiple artists into the same place. It's been something really special.
And you rent out the spaces?
I do, yeah. I am constantly on the lookout for new places to go. I'm constantly networking with people and reaching out to them to go visit their venues. If it's unique and special and I can use it as a background, this excites me. If I drive past and the outside is beautiful, I want to see what's on the inside.
Yeah, and let's talk about the networking. So you have a lot of connections, I know that. Tell me, how'd you get that and how do you stay in touch?
I was just reaching out. I just decided to take a bold move and reach out to someone and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing. Do you want to be a part of this? So I do everything from Racine. I like to showcase Racine. So if there's a lot of places in Racine we can use, such as the one in March, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
I love my hometown.
Mike, how did you link up with Evie?
She posted something online and she said, somebody dropped out, I really need somebody to come in. I had my batteries charged and I decided, why not? I'm not doing anything at the moment. And no one really knew me at the time, and running into her was like one of the best things that probably ever happened to me, or tons of other people that she's networked with. So
yeah. Why is there a demand for this sort of event?
Oh, it's like nothing else. Everybody comes together and it's just this big creative outlet where people can just release all of their creativity and just bring something to life that would not normally be able to be brought to life in a setting like that.
So, and the idea is that everybody pays a small amount to rent out the space. Well, interesting. You have one coming up at the Christmas House. We have a graphic for that. That's coming up on March 10th. How can people get involved?
They can look up Unplugged Artistic Event Planning on Facebook. If you reach out to me, I will answer any messages and try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I tell you what, you're going to stay with us, and so are our viewers. They're going to stay with us too, because we're getting an up-close look at one of these events right here in our studio just after these messages. This week's Ugly Mug has a Heidi theme. This one comes from Heidi in Waterford. As you can see, it's pretty basic, almost clip art style picture. I guess advertising the movie Heidi? I'm not sure. It says 1986. I don't know if a version came out then, but if you look at Heidi right there, her feet are really small. I don't know if their feet are in the grass, but I don't know. It kind of creeps me out, this little picture. So thank you very much, Heidi, for sending it in. I agree. It's ugly. If you'd like to get your ugly mug on Racine and Me, just send it to Racine and Me, care of CBS 58 South 60th Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That would be a donation. You won't get that mug back, but come on, give it some new life. All right, delicious. Once again, I'm joined by these two people. Evie Kalmar is in charge of Unplugged Artistic Event Planning, and Michael Hepner is a photographer with Milwaukee Portraits. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, so I really like this idea that you can take a space and transform it to make it look like something that, it doesn't even look like the space. So I invited you to come to the Racine and Me studio, and you said...
Yes, of course.
Yes. Why did you take me up on that?
Oh my goodness, it's once in a lifetime opportunity to come into an actual new studio and just transform it. Everybody was so excited just to make it their own.
Yeah, so I put together a little something. Let's take a look.
So I've been with Evie since the beginning, which has been really interesting to see these groups evolve and grow.
Today I am doing kind of a mixture of looks. I'm definitely sticking with my identity with the glam, but I'm also adding in a little bit of character. I'm kind of going more a Cruella, old Hollywood vibe.
I've literally been doing makeup since I was a kid. My grandma, she used to let me dig around in her makeup she had stored underneath the sink when I was a kid, and she would go over and lay on the couch because obviously I wasn't tall enough to get to her face. So she would lay down on the couch in the living room, and I would just like swatch and blend and play. And when we got all done, she would always have me, she would grab a mirror and she would ooh and ah over what I had done and have me explain what I had done and why I did it that way.
I mean, I always say the face is the canvas. I just want to keep it pretty, like glamour and subtle. I don't want to do too dramatic, so I'm just giving her some nice soft contour and all that, and gonna give her a bold lip and bold eye.
So yeah, pretty much the process of this is just getting the set and letting it cool, and once it's cool, she can take it down and form the style. I get, every image that I do as far as hair or makeup on the models, and I usually post it on my social media page, business page, and kind of get, that exposure for all of the other artists, photographers, and models.
She's one of my favorites too, don't tell the others. It's fun to be able to show my talents off outside of actual clients. I mean, this work is a lot different than any bridal or senior portraits or any of that stuff that I do. So it's exciting to be able to do this and use more glitter and be more spontaneous and fun with it.
One of the shoots we did in October, I actually used styrofoam cones on a model and gave her some pretty crazy hair, which is a little out of the ordinary because, most of the time in the salon it's prom hair, wedding hair, so you don't get to kind of open up that creative side. And then we all kind of link through Facebook.
Evie is very good at organizing. We leave it to her.
Usually with these events, I'm working with about 8 models. So just making sure that time management is put together, products are put together, looks are planned out ahead of time, makes things run a lot smoother. If I get too chit-chatty, I lose focus.
She has a more edgy look, so we're gonna edge out this glam look. 30 minutes for makeup, 30 minutes for hair, you gotta get going. So we get to collaborate for each theme, a different look that fits for design wear, makeup, hair, so it all comes together in a really cohesive look.
I'm a couture clothing designer, which means I made 100% of these garments by hand. So I do a lot of hand beading work. I dye all these fabrics myself. I use lots of unconventional materials. This is ostrich leather. Before the event happens, I message all of the models that are going to be attending, and I get their measurements, and then I kind of go through what I have. I keep all of my original designs. I never sell them, I'll remake them. This is a really interesting material. I go through my stuff and I see what would be good with their hair color, their eye color, what would be good for their measurements, their body type. I ask them what their favorite colors are. I try to be accommodating. This one is a nude net kind of dress. I want to be a costume designer for film, actually, so I design each piece with a character in mind, so really seeing a model come to life in my clothes, and a lot of times, they try on the clothes before they're in hair and makeup, and just seeing their face, with the design, just looking amazing and feeling confident, like I'm all about that. That's why I do this.
I decided to really kind of keep it a little bit softer. I really, really love her beautiful blue eyes. Can we get a flash of those? Yes.
We're a family here, and everyone is just so supportive and
all right, you ready?
kind, and we create good art.
Get it up as close to her face as you can. 1, 2, 3, flip. My style is really kind of dark fashion. Perfect. So we shoot for about an hour each, and those time slots are set up in advance for the events. And then we just do that throughout the day. And by the end of the day, we've shot 8 models that are fantastic looking.
For us, it's been really nice for adding some fresh images to our portfolio and meeting a lot of local Midwest fellow artists, photographers, models, other creatives. So it's been a really nice networking event.
I really like shadowy images. I really like darker style, almost horror-esque, but not quite horror. So I kind of push the boundaries a little bit. I really like dark emotions.
Not super planned, we just kind of want to go with the flow, kind of photojournalistic, capture things as they're happening.
1, 2, 3, flip. This is way more open and more free. You can do a lot more with your images. You can push things a lot further than normal. And if you stick with like just wedding photography and senior photography or newborn photography, you're kind of clamped into a bright white image that has to be specific that way. So
For me, It's just the art. It's hanging out with my friends, doing really cool art. It's a creative release for me. That's what it is.
It's really cool because I am actually, from Rockford, and so to bring all of that to my city, it's really cool for everybody and all my clients to see stuff like this because it's just different.
It's really like opened my eyes to like what a photo shoot really is and what we really do as makeup artists. Like you actually do a lot more than just the makeup or just the hair. It's you take people from different stages of their life, different parts of the world, and you all come together and create this beautiful image together. It's really amazing.
What'd you think? Did you have a fun time?
Yes, it was amazing.
We actually have quite a few of the pictures here that I'd love to go through to see this space because you were using the studio. And here's the first one. This was from Topher, the redhead in the story. When you look at these images, I mean, what goes through your mind?
Well, this is Adrienne, and she's an amazing model as it is. She's so beautiful. All of her lines are beautiful. And I just love the fabric toss in the back and what it does for Rachel Frank as the designer. It's fabulous.
Okay, next up we have a few images from Valerie Moody, Photography. And I love this because this has the anchor desk behind it, and you can really see, the full outfit, which the designer said she actually sent some of those ruffles to her mom to complete because it took so long.
It took so long, yeah. Look at her, though. It's gorgeous. The design is gorgeous. The model's gorgeous. And you wouldn't even know unless you absolutely knew that this was a news desk or that this was a news station.
I know.
Yeah.
Up next is Eric Simpson's from Simplistics Imagery. Wow. And Evie, this is you. This is a rather ominous one. Did they have a flash under you for that?
Yes, they did. And Eric is extremely talented. He's helped me with so many of these shoots and spent so much time doing this with me. And he's so talented, and it's amazing to me that he would think, well, look at this glass. Okay, let's put a flash under it, and let's just bring lighting to the entire face of the model and the arms, and let's let it follow through.
It looks like he used I don't know if that's his flash or one of our studio lights. It might be his flash, but it almost seems magical. Mike, what do you think?
I'm sure you even got the coloring of the dress in there as well. It's always fantastic to see these artists work under extreme pressure, and it's a way different scenario when everyone is kind of doing it together. It's like we all vibe and feed off
And you're able
each
to
other's
work
energy.
together? There isn't any butting heads with like, hey, I want this space, I want that?
No, we'll constantly, okay, no problem, we'll work right around each other. It's like more of like a family than anything.
It is.
Okay, let's see what's next. Danielle Cousins. I think
it's maybe this one right here.
And the reflection right off the
think
desk
it's
there.
the main anchor
Yep,
desk?
I think they laid her on top just a little bit just to get that reflection.
When you have the reflection coming off of a table or a mirror, or even when you hold a prism in front of the camera and you get a reflection of like rainbows on somebody's face, or just even off to the side in the image, it just puts another dimension to that photo completely.
Rick Wright is next, and I really love some of these pictures. He was taking some
Gorgeous.
wider ones. Now this almost looks like ballet or something, and she's just on the floor.
Yeah, she looks so elegant. It's gorgeous.
And the second picture from Rick, this was a rather stunning one, I thought, in front of the main news desk there. And she was wearing, that dress was so large. She's not that tall.
No.
She's actually kind of a shorty.
Yes.
It's fantastic to get that fabric moving and flowing the best way possible.
There's a lot of teamwork, I felt, at the event. And finally, we have your two pictures that we pulled. So this one I thought was so cool because we have a mirror on the anchor desk that was left behind by an old anchor. It's broken.
Right.
Everyone uses it, and you found that, and you said, hey, let's use this, and this is just a natural effect that you made?
Yeah, so I was playing around with it, and I saw the crack in the screen, and I saw it would be kind of interesting to see maybe two of her.
And the second picture that we took from you was this one. Now, this was really great. That's actually behind the scenes, I think.
Man, she makes everything look so elegant, really.
This is what I love doing. This is my heart. This is my soul. This is my family. So.
Well, I think it's so great that something like this is going on, coordinated by somebody right there in Racine.
Right.